How you doing, man?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, so sorry I'm late.
That's okay. That's all right. Did you have trouble getting in, or were you just late?
I'm just late. Yeah,
Yeah.
I overslept. I was taking a nap.
Oh, no problem.
So sorry about that.
Okay. I've been having trouble getting in, so
Oh,
um, and I saw somebody else log in, but then they just shut down. So I'm not sure what's going on
so
with the
starting
server.
this semester, every DBA students have to show up in Zoom meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
If you're
that's
if you're a hybrid, if you're just an online student, then I don't think so.
I think even online students have to show up
Even
now.
though online?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure.
and
Mm.
we announced that during the DBA conference.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Um, let's give everybody a few minutes,
Cool.
and then if nobody else shows up, what I may do, I may post the lecture,
Okay.
and then we'll reconvene next week. I don't want to. There's supposed to be 6 people in the class.
Yeah, well, I can hang around if you just want to record and bounce idea off me because I'm into marketing.
You like you like marketing?
Yeah.
Good. What do you do now?
I actually work as a marketer.
Oh,
Well,
do you?
actually, I work as a strategist for a marketing firm. So
Okay. Okay.
that's my bread and butter. I started as a marketing quant,
Okay.
so quantitative marketing.
I did marketing. Okay.
Yeah, and the reason I got into DBA program is I have this theory about marketing, the new marketing, but
Mm-hmm.
without a decent theoretical background, I can't pull it off.
Okay.
And that's the
What's
whole
your
reason I'm
idea?
here. Yeah.
What's your new thoughts on new marketing?
Uh, so have you heard about the Fire Festival?
Yeah.
You know the scam, right? There's a Netflix documentary and everything
Yeah.
that actually started my pursuit of this new marketing thing
Okay.
because it is such a huge deal in marketing that even when it has no service or no experience provided at all, it can still grab that many people and make that much money,
Okay.
right? So there has to be something fundamentally wrong with the way we understand marketing. Because if you look at marketing, you got the 4 P's, right? The
Mm-hmm.
product, people, not people, product, price, place, and
Promotion.
promotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you elevate a little bit, you go to the 4 C's. And even today, we got this. Somebody call it 4 V's, but I think they're trying to make it fit. But I think fundamentally that kind of mentality is out of the touch
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't matter if you are focusing on customer or you are focusing on product. At the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, you are selling a commodity.
Right.
And with a commodity, you cannot differentiate yourself, and marketing is all about differentiating yourself.
Okay.
So how does Fair Festival differentiate itself so much? People are willing to pay their hard-earned money
Mm-hmm.
to attend this thing. It's not really a thing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
I blame social media, but in a sense, I
I
thank social media.
I hear what you're saying. I don't agree with you, but I hear what you're saying. Um, and we can definitely delve into a little more. We would.
Wait, which part don't you agree? The Fair Festival is a scam, or
No, the fire festival was a scam, but that's more. It wasn't really a scam. It was just poor planning, poor logistics. From a business standpoint and from an execution standpoint,
Mhm.
they didn't plan very well.
Yeah, but they grabs attention.
Right? They grab
The
attention.
only thing they got right is the part
It's the
where
marketing.
most of business doesn't get right as a marketing
Yeah, it's the marketing.
strategy today, right?
Yeah,
So we can learn from them.
yeah. The marketing was excellent,
Yeah.
right? But they used celebrity endorsements,
Hmm.
right? Those things that they know
Yep.
influence people's decision.
What was behind that was something called viral marketing and
Hmm.
also called influencer marketing. It's
Yeah,
all a mix today.
yeah,
Nobody is actually coming in and say this is this definition because the definition changes a lot.
yeah.
Uh, And the other side of this is the experience side. So
Yeah.
you cannot really sell commodity anymore because, like I said, you can differentiate. But what this guy called Joseph Pine, I think I know he come up with the term experience economy, but before him, there was experiential marketing. There's a
Right.
distinction, but not that much, that big a deal for our purpose.
Mm.
So he said, if you provide an experience, people will come to you not with the mentality of spending money to save time, but spending money to spend time with you.
Yes.
And if you can design your product or service around that concept, you are set.
Yeah.
And he also said, basically, in his discussion section of his book, he said, yes, there's experience, but experience eventually will also commoditize. And he come up with that theory, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So today, if you look at it, even experience commoditize.
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks is his biggest example, and Capital One, the banking, you go in there, the bank has a cafe for you.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff also go out of style, also become commoditized.
Yeah.
Going to a Starbucks and going to a Peace Coffee, there's really not that big a difference today. And going to Chase, I think some Chase has cafe, but Capital One is still the one known for that.
Right.
But even that expire, even that become commoditized. And he said, what truly gonna be a differentiated factor even after the experience economy is transformative experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I want to look into.
Yeah.
And I want to look into the crossroad where somebody got into a transformative experience and they share it on the social network,
Mm-hmm.
and it become viral, and all of a sudden you got free customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing? That I can't. I don't want to mess up your name. I can't hear you. Your mute is on.
Hi, Professor Aderonke. Just call me Hade.
Call you Ade? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I've been trying to join for a while.
Yeah, it's not you.
I don't know what happened. I sent you a mail already.
Yeah, I saw you. You popped up, and then everything dropped out. So I had trouble getting in too. So
okay, all right then.
So we're okay. We're moving. We're just talking. And so how do you pronounce your name? Mu? Is it Mu or is it
Mu?
Mu? Okay. Okay. Yeah, Mu. The experience marketing now is really the thing. Because people are looking for experiences, and that's how you really capture your consumer, right? Your target market. But you have to think back. The good companies have been doing this for a long time. You
Exactly.
Look at Toyota, right? If you look at vacation companies, right? They're selling experiences.
Yep.
Okay, Carnival Cruise Line, Norwegian, right? And you have different level of experiences based on which cruise line you decide to go on, right?
Yep.
So this has been a concept that's been around for a while. It just depends on your product, right? So some products you don't need to market, right? Because some products are necessary for life.
Commodities.
Right. They're the commodities. So yeah, the commodities, to some extent, but they're not necessary commodities. Not every.
No, not in the financial sense. In marketing.
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Let's say an iPhone 5 today is a commodity. You don't really care about who sells it, right?
Yeah. So, as you start looking at your product and looking at the target market, you got to figure out what's the best way to market the actual product, good, or service, right? Is it going to be me advocating or pushing that the experience is going to be the thing that you're paying for? Or is the person actually concerned about the product?
Right. But that is still last year's news or 10 years ago news.
I don't know. Me personally, I still shop for product, quality product, that's going to give me an experience too, if that's what I'm going for, right? If
you go to the gym?
Yes.
Then you are not shopping for the experience. You're shopping for the transformation that a gym can bring you.
No, I'm shopping for the experience too. I don't want to go to a gym where there's a bunch of people making a bunch of noise and just bad attitude. And there's an experience to be gathered at the gym. Yes, the transformative aspect of it is what I'm ultimately going for, because I want to, keep my body in a certain way. But the experiences are also good too, right? Because if I get to the gym and I have I have a gym membership, 24-hour fitness. I have one for LA Fitness. All right.
Right.
LA Fitness, right? I don't necessarily like going there all the time because I have to have this little key fob. Right. And so if I forget the key fob, I can't get in. 24-hour fitness, I just use my thumb and punch in my phone number and I get in. Right. So you see the experience in me getting into the gym contributes to whether or not which gym we're going to go to.
So it's cumulative. That's a very good point. I never thought it that way.
Yeah, it's cumulative because that's stopping me from going to the gym because the hassle of me having to have this little thing that I have to put on my keychain, that I have to bring my keys in with, right? And then put in my pocket, which I don't like to have in my pocket, right? Because I may lose it in the gym. Okay, so that's gonna be like all those things are things that go through consumers' mind. Like, okay, you know, I'm gonna go to the other gym because I have a better experience at the other gym, right? That's why there's a difference in price when you go 24-hour fitness, LA Fitness, or you go to private gyms, all right, a private trainer. There's a personal experience there that's happening, right? You get a private trainer one-on-one, that's a personal experience, but that person has to market in a different way for that customer to be attracted to their experience, right, and to their service, because they are looking to get a certain person who's at a certain economic level, right? Because personal training is expensive.
Right. So that's the C for customer side.
Yeah.
C for consumer.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Eventually, it's going to go to some kind of interactive, transformative, type experience where people are now immersing themselves in some kind of virtual reality, right?
So, like you said, what's the one with the thumbprint? Is that the LA Fitness or the other
That's
one?
24-hour.
24 hours. So LA Fitness can totally just copy that, right? Buying a thumbprint reader is not that expensive. Eventually, all gym will have that. Or eventually, you don't even have to touch anything, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Now, this is not, see, so this is where LA Fitness differentiates itself from 24-hour fitness and vice versa, right? Because LA Fitness argument may say, you know what? Some people don't like having their biometrics recorded. So instead of having their biometrics recorded, they have a tag, right? Because a lot of people are worried about their security. I don't want my thumbprint.
But they can always offer a trace.
Huh?
You can always offer a trace.
A trace?
They can say, if you prefer to not have your thumbprint recorded, we'll give you a key fob.
They don't do that. They don't give you key fob.
They could, right? That's on their marketing team or whoever is in charge of their marketing.
If they want to spend the money on it,
right?
They now have redundancy.
The money is such interesting thing in marketing, though.
Yeah.
The first department you cut when your money is tight is marketing. But in reality, you cut marketing, you basically cut your source of income.
Yeah. I guess it depends on the product. If it's a well-established product and you cut market and you cut money, it might not be as detrimental.
But marketing is such a big idea, though. Without marketing, you're flying blind.
Well, think about it this way, right? If they cut marketing for Coke, you think Coke is going to lose any market share?
Oh, yeah, big time.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they cut marketing for Coke?
Yeah, because the competitors are out there to get them. And also, Coke makes money on distribution. And if they cut marketing completely, they wouldn't have any distribution.
I don't know.
Distribution is part of the 4P, right? Technically, it's part of marketing.
But their brand is so established that they don't need they don't need commercials to tell people.
But Kodak think about that too, right? Kodak has the same idea. Kodak,
yeah. Well, Kodak is a different problem. Kodak fell behind because they didn't keep up with technology.
Hey, keep up with technology is part of marketing, though. Product, right? That's the first P, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true. All right, we'll talk about that some more. Let's get started.
This is gonna be a fun class.
For a day, just sitting there. She's like, please don't stop torturing me. You guys know each other?
No, first time.
No? Okay, so what I like to do real quick, just your name, where you're from, what degree you're pursuing, I kind of know already. What it is that you are doing now, and what it is you plan on doing later, once you get your doctorate. Okay, so we'll go with ladies first. A day.
I was hoping you'll call me second anyway. So yeah, my name is Aderonke. Yeah, I'm from Nigeria, and I believe this is my final year in school, like I'm almost done.
Okay.
And I have a background in economics, MBA, of course, and I have some certification in business strategy and the rest of that.
Okay.
And my career background, I have worked as a salesperson, marketing person,
Okay.
and also I've worked as a business analyst, in both private and public
Okay.
corporations back then in Nigeria. So basically, I'm into this program because I would like to be a private consultant for particularly politicians. I like politics. I don't want to go into politics fully, but I want to be, the face behind the camera. So I like to be a private consultant, a business owner of my own. Like ever since I've been in this country, I see some new things I really want to take back home and,
Right.
take back home and, do new things. Basically, yeah. So I like to be a consultant, nothing so much.
Okay. It's okay. Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear that. All right. All right, cool. Mill?
So I'm originally from China,
Okay.
and I went to college in Upper Michigan,
Okay.
and got my Bachelor of Science in Marketing there, got my MBA there, and then I shotgunned my resume on Craigslist out of all the place. One very shady dude from the Bay Area reached out to me.
Shady dude.
Very shady. I mean, not even when we do the remote interview, where neither of us are actually showing faces.
Okay.
To show you how shady it is. And the guy said, "Hey, come out. We're gonna welcome you to the warmer states, to a warmer place." And I basically drove 2,000 miles, about a little bit more than 1,000 miles, all the way. I rented a car, just drove all the way out.
Okay.
And that company turns out to be a affiliate marketing firm. So they are that close to be basically a scam.
Okay.
But I learned a lot from them. I learned all the best practices of how you optimize your search results, how you actually get consumers to get on your website, and how to actually convert them.
Okay.
And I work for them basically on the number side. But I know there's an argument where all the SS agents working for Hitler, they're just following orders. But that's not really an excuse.
Right.
So after a while, I got tired of that life. I just looked for other opportunities, and I worked as a marketing quant for a water filtration company, and later on I worked for a both on all on a consulting basis. And another company is called Georgia Size. They sell rubber balls you can put in your mouth, and you just chew on it, so you get a stronger jawline. So that's a very unique company. They sell on Amazon, and that's where I learned all the Amazon selling stuff. Eventually, one of the guy I work with, a shady company, the company went out of business a while ago at that point. So he started his own company. He says, "Okay, I learned enough. I can serve the community better. I want to give people a chance if they want to open their business online." So him and I started a business together. We call ourselves Pantera.solutions. That's our URL, by the way. There's no .com, just Pantera.solutions.
Okay.
And we call ourselves the business consultants for lazy entrepreneurs.
For lazy entrepreneurs.
So if they have an idea but they don't have time, or they just don't have the energy to pull it off, give it to us, and we will basically we will even fund you if your business idea is good enough. And if you don't have a business idea, that's no problem too. We have some products ready to sell, well, just ready for you to take over. Right? So that's our business model, and I have been doing that for about 3 years now.
Is it doing good?
Yeah, still. Well, when COVID first hit, some clients got panicked. They want all their money out, so we lose a bunch of clients. So that's the rough time for me. And that's when I actually ran into Dr. Guilbadi, our provost.
Yeah.
And he actually gave me another huge opportunity. He said, "Okay, come teach for me. You got some money, and I got a professor." So now I'm actually teaching undergraduates in our school too. So that's a very, very interesting experience. And as for what I want to do in the future, I started wanting to kind of open my own marketing consultancy or marketing agency, but now that I'm teaching a little bit, I find myself getting addicted to teaching.
Oh, okay.
Because when I'm sure you know this, Dr. Case,
Mhm.
um, when the stars lining up, the students finally get it. You see the little stars popping out their eyes is such an intoxicating feeling, right?
Yeah, it's a
That's
rush,
why I
huh?
teach.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah, so teaching definitely is in my future, either
Okay.
through universities or I become, you know, maybe executive trainer like
Okay.
what's his name, Joseph Pine, right? He
Hmm.
gave classes, he gave instructions about his theory.
Yeah.
During my dissertation, I hope to come up with my own theory, and I can
Hmm.
just preach it.
Yeah, I
Maybe
got you.
that's my way to go, but that's a very hard thing to pull off. I understand that,
Yeah.
but yeah, nice to
Okay.
have goals.
Okay. Good. Good. I like to hear that. It's always good when students have entrepreneurial aspirations.
That's definitely me.
Yeah, and they've gone in there, they've opened their businesses, the businesses are doing well, and that always is a good um, background and good input to have to the class, right? Because there's other people in the class that are entrepreneurs and don't know where to start yet. They don't know what to do yet. They don't know what they want to do, and so it's always good to have people that have businesses and have a good business uh, understanding to kind of convey that to the other students and to kind of help me give examples, right? Because I've had a business before. I had a couple of businesses before. I have a consulting business now. um, but it's always useful to have other students or have students in the class that have that spirit, because I know pretty much everybody wants to go doing business for themselves, right?
Yep,
Everybody wants to be free, right? I want to
that's
be
the life.
financially
You're the
free.
boss.
All right. I want to be financially free. I want to be free to do what I want. I want to be free to spend time with my family. I want all these experiences, all this stuff, right? And how do I get to that? Well, most times the way you get to that is through entrepreneurship, owning your own business, right? And then the whole point of, okay, how do I decide, or when do I decide, like, if I want my business to grow, stay small? It depends on the quality of life you're looking for, right? And the type of life. If your interest is mostly, trying to make sure you spend time with your family and that kind of thing, you're probably gonna keep it small. If your interest is to grow it and then sell it, right, you probably, stay busy and maybe put the family thing off for a little while and wait, right? I mean, you can do both, but it's a little bit harder, right? But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's always good, especially at this level with you guys getting your doctorate. It's always good because you guys are extremely marketable, right? Companies are gonna love you, and then if like a day you go back to Nigeria, right? Um, there's a lot of things you can implement there in Nigeria that we do here in the States. That a lot of other countries just aren't necessarily ready for, right? But that once you get there, you have a chance to do it, it's going to be a good thing for the country, right? And so you want to bring back those talents and skills to your home country, right?
Sure.
Mood, you don't sound like. Go ahead, today. You want to say something?
Um,
No, no. Okay.
Go ahead, today.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was saying, yeah, you're right.
Okay, okay. Um, and I was thinking, like, Moon, you're probably not gonna go back to China. It doesn't seem like you will go back to China. I don't know.
uh, it's tough for Chinese to go through the immigration channel though.
Right, right. At this point right now,
Everyone does.
you probably want to stick around. I just want to wait. Okay. All right. But at the same time, China is a great example of a place that the economy is strong, is growing, and is strictly off of manufacturing, right? And just kind of having this huge workforce that can lower the cost of goods sold, right? That's really what it boils down to, right? They have a large workforce who's willing to work at a minimum wage, right? And who just want a lifestyle that they can just put food on the table, have clothes on their back, have a home, and kind of live their life, right? Because they're more worried about experiences. They're not really worried about building wealth necessarily, right? They want to build wealth, but not to compromise their family, right? They're being having quality time. It
And
doesn't seem that way.
and also the country was not the political system there is not really built for building wealth.
No, it's not.
You can't really own any land, right?
No, it's a socialist. It's a socialist environment, where everybody is, hey, you're a doctor. I'm a garbage man. Guess what, doctor? I'm taking some of your money. All right, and we're all gonna split it equally, even though you don't do the same thing I do. All right. You went to school forever. Guess what? I'm still taking some of your money. Okay, so it's just the way the country works. No, it is what it is. All right. So just quick about me. Hopefully you get a chance to read my bio, but if you didn't, I'm from New York originally. I was in the Marine Corps in the military for 21 years. I retired about 6-7 years ago. I used to work for Wells Fargo doing analytics and investing in man, it's been so long since I've done it, but investing for HOAs and that kind of thing, right? Called laddering and some other stuff. Then I worked for Toyota doing business analytics, basically aftermarket business analytics for them. And then I started teaching probably in 2014, 15, no, 16, 2016, I think, 2014, 15, 16. And I teach here and I teach another school in San Marcos. So I teach business, HR, and statistics. All right. Let's see. I have a bachelor's in business, a master's in HR, and PhD in organizational leadership. All right. And so, I have experience in a lot of things. When I was in the Marine Corps, what I did was supply distribution and logistics. So I'm pretty good with distribution, supply chain management, that kind of thing, right? Logistics and understanding, why the fry festival didn't work. All right. First thing, rule of logistics, you got to do the site survey. And they would have known right away that there was no way they could provide the power that they needed in that area.
I learned about Fire Festival in the Bahamas, actually. Mm-hmm. I was basically focused on my work so much, I didn't even listen to what's going on in the world. But at some point, my company, like I said, it's a shady company. They want to hide their money, so they want to open a offshore account. And back then, I need to get out of the country for my visa thing. Seems like a perfect opportunity, and they sent me to the Bahamas. So from there, from the locals, the guy who actually introduced me to the local bankers, he was actually in charge of the logistics to set up the site for them. And he was so proud of that work. I was like, okay, that doesn't look like something fancy, right? To this country, I know there are fancy parts. The Paradise Island, that's a beautiful place. But it was not on Paradise Island. It was on a tiny, tiny small island with a bunch of FEMA tents.
Right. So let's talk about that, right? What that aspect, right? So they marketed one thing, right, and provided a different place, right? The marketing, right, what they call kind of a switch, bait and switch, right? You provided one thing or said you're going to do one thing, marketed this thing, got celebrity endorsements, and then you end up having to change the location after people have already paid their money, right? And the expectations is that they were going to get this because that's what was marketed, right? That's what was advertised, okay? And so as a marketer, that's a headache, right? Because as a marketer, I don't really have control over the product, okay? So the poor person who was doing all the social media marketing and did a great job, they were just marketing what they were told, right? But then you turn around and you switch something else out, right? And you give me, instead of Paradise Island, I get, Fire Island, right? Or No Fun Island, okay? They more likely will blame the marketer, right? The consumer will blame the marketer because that's the source of their information, right? Not understanding the marketer is just basically packaging the product. I don't have control over the product. I'm packaging the product. Okay.
Motors.
Huh?
For me, marketer means a bigger concept. The product design is by marketer as well.
No. I guess it depends because when I talk about product, not necessarily the product, I'm talking about the functionality of it more, not necessarily the product design. Like I get what you're saying, like the color and the way it looks aesthetically. Yeah, that's definitely marketing, right? What do you think is going to appeal to the consumer? But at the end of the day, does the product work the way it's supposed to work, right?
They put it off.
Yeah, the manufacturing aspect of it, right? Does it do what it's supposed to do? Great. Now let's make it look pretty. Okay, let's make it look pretty. That's definitely marketing, but the part before that is not marketing. All right, not necessarily.
There
That's
are different school of thoughts on that, though. Haier, the biggest electronic manufacturer in China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What they have a rule is you never do over the door designing. So marketers have to be in the same room as the engineers, so that engineers don't just come up with some crazy thing that can do everything, but no consumer needs it.
Right.
So more and more, I think, well, not really more and more, Haier has been doing that for decades. So I think you want to be in touch with your consumers' wants. And I know Apple use a totally different business strategy. They say screw marketing research. I say what the customer wants, and they have been pulling it off. But other than Apple, I haven't seen any other company do that. If they get out of touch with the market, then you're out of the game.
There's a lot of companies that do that. It's basically called selling, right? So basically, you're providing the consumer a product that they don't know they want.
Right.
Right. So think about insurance. Okay. Think about those things. Things like your car insurance, your home insurance, medical insurance. You don't want that. Right. But how many commercials do you see for Aflac? State Farm, right? Geico, Progressive, right? Progressive has a whole campaign, right? Their commercials are very funny, right? With
all over the place.
They're all over the place, right? They're all over the place, right? These are products. Do you really want to buy those products?
No. I don't even like the commercials to start.
Exactly. But guess what? You're gonna buy it.
You're right.
You're gonna buy it. Now it depends. It's like who you're gonna buy it from. That's the fight for them. I want you to buy it from me, right? So that's why I have to advertise and market the product, right? Because the product nobody really wants. If I had to buy insurance, I wouldn't buy insurance. I really wouldn't, because I think it's stupid. I think it's a scam. All right, but
car insurance is kind of mandatory.
What's that?
Car insurance?
Yeah.
You have to buy it, right?
No, you have to buy it. It's mandatory. No, what I'm saying is that if it wasn't mandatory, I wouldn't buy it.
Right.
Right.
It's almost like toilet paper.
No, that's not the same. That's not the same.
Well, it's a highly, in the sense, it's the highly commoditized market, right?
Yeah, it is, but you need toilet paper. Unless you have some other. Okay,
I got a bidet. You don't really need them toilet paper.
I gonna say, unless you have a bidet, you don't need it, right? But I guess it depends on the culture.
Yes, but the punchline here would be when you need it, you need it.
Mm-hmm.
There are both something you don't really think about it, but when you do need it, you really need it. When a cop pulls you over, you better have insurance, right?
Yeah, you better have insurance, right?
Yeah, when you're done with your business and you don't have a bidet, you better have a toilet paper.
Toilet paper, right?
Like you said, you put it perfectly. Their game is to when you need it, which one do you buy from?
Yeah, who do you buy
Government
from?
Is really good at that.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of why you see commercials for insurance and things that you would never think to buy. You need to have them based on the laws and the regulations that govern our society. Right? It's not anything else. Everything is a social construct. These things are made up. Right? We don't. It's not like we're born and it's like, oh, as soon as you're born, hey, you need insurance. No. Right? It's a social construct based on the fact that, look, people have cars and accidents happen. And if you want to be protected against your accident and not have to pay a bunch of money, we will take care of that. But you're going to pay us, right? For the chance that something may happen, right?
Isn't there a religion against insurance? I remember reading there was a religion that actually actively against insurance.
I'm sure.
It's a pretty big religion. I forgot which one was it. So they say it's gambling because you are gambling with your life.
Oh, probably the Mormons.
Yeah.
Probably Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
They don't believe in gambling and everything. A lot of things to them are gambling. They don't really drink caffeine and that kind of thing. So,
but yes, it's a little bit extreme from everybody's, in the way that everybody has been doing that. But if you really think about it, like you said, you don't born need insurance.
No.
It's just it's all promoted.
Yeah, it's all the game. So, uh, but then if we go back to the class, the value, right, is what we're really looking at, right? The value of marketing, and how do I take a product nobody wants and package it and turn it into something that people want to get, right? That they want to, attain, okay? And to build a, really a strong brand identity, brand recognition, brand loyalty, right? That's really where the value lies in marketing. That innate sense to say, you know what? They say I can sell ice to an Eskimo, okay? That's serious marketing right there, right? That's even from the sales perspective, whoever the salesperson is, they still have to have some marketing information about the ice, okay? Where the ice come from, all right? What kind of ice is it? All right. Is it fresh ice? Did you just cut it and then freeze it? Right? Eskimos might want to know, right? What kind of ice you got? Right? So it's important that marketing creates some kind of value that really is the aim. That's what they're really looking for, is to create some kind of value for the product, right? And so, Ade, did you want to say something? Don't be bashful.
No, no, I was just thinking about what you said, and I can remember back in Nigeria because the last company I worked before moving down was a telecommunication company, and of course, where the place, I mean, where the company was located was a competitive environment where we had a lot of them all over, and each time we had a meeting, like a meeting, a sales and marketing department meeting, we always talk about adding more values to augmenting our products in such a way that when it comes to the customer choice, they will prefer to pick ours,
Right.
because there is a new value to it. So I was just relating to what you said now.
Yeah, yeah. Now that makes sense, because even if we go back to, and Mu and I are talking about the Fry Festival. Are you familiar with the Fry Festival? No, the Fry Festival was supposed to be a music festival that's supposed to be in the Bahamas on Paradise Island. Supposed to be a high end music festival. All the celebrities are going to be there, really big music acts and that kind of thing. And it just turned out that it was just total bad planning. It didn't happen. They took the people's money. It just went to crap. Ja Rule was part of the team that was supposed to set it up, right? So um, it just didn't go well, right? So now it's a lot of times it's a case study for a lot of marketing, programs, and just social media marketers in general are very much interested in what happened, right? And kind of like, what can we lessons learned from this experience, because as Moo and I were speaking, the advertising, the marketing campaign was amazing, right? They did a great job as far as the social media platform and just getting people to man die to get to this. People, and this is an expensive concert. It was like $100,000 or something like that.
They'll sell their kidney to get into the concert.
Yeah, it was. I think you could buy tickets for like 10, 15, but I think people were spending about $100,000 to come to this concert, to come to this music festival. It just didn't turn out to be, good, right? But it, in spite of what they did, they really didn't capture the total marketing aspect, right? And we were talking about this earlier. The marketing, I mean, you said it perfectly. Marketing is just not one thing. It's not just about making the product pretty, right? Or making the product noticeable, or acknowledging the product. It's about, okay, how do I get the product, from point A to point B, all right? Point A being the manufacturer, and possibly me as, the distributor, and then to the end user, the retail end, right? And then from there, getting it to the actual end user, the consumer, right? That's my aim. As a marketer, I'm thinking about all those things, right? And it's an important point you made, as far as you said, in the Chinese company, was it Highway? No,
Higher.
Higher, right? Okay, Higher. I know that company. Higher. They bring in their marketers when the engineers are brainstorming and doing their designs and all this stuff, right? Because it's just not one aspect of here. You're gonna give me, pardon my French, you're gonna give me a bucket of shit, and you want me to sell it. Okay, I can't. Okay, because nobody needs that. There's no demand, so please don't supply it. Okay, because we don't need that, because I can't market that. Right, I cannot market that. Now, granted, there are definitely ways to market it, because depending on your target market, you can market that. All right, if you talk about, depending on what kind of, bodily fluids it is and body excrement it is, all right, you can market that to farmers, because farmers need that kind of thing to grow crops. All right, certain crops need, that, but you get that from animals and that kind of thing, right? But there's a market for it somewhere along the line, in a very narrow sense.
The company called Cards Against Humanity. They are a board game company. So at some point, they were literally selling booze excrements.
Yeah.
Literally, the stinky. I think they dry them. They put it in a box and they ship it to you. I think they were selling it for $35 a pop, and they make millions of it.
Hey, you never know what the demand is, right? Sometimes you have to put the supply out there, right? Again, selling. Who would want that, right? I don't know, but you got it. You just push it out there and you see what happens. All right. People buy a lot of strange things.
Yeah, you're right. And I think another thing that helps with marketing is, as a marketer, you need to have a good understanding of your own product and other competitive products too. With that, you'll be able to convince, Mr. Hay that you need us because of this.
Yeah.
Some people don't actually know they need something. And it's even really horrible to hear that some marketers don't even have a deep understanding of what they are selling. You get what I mean?
Right.
So when you have that, you know the price of your products, you know the price of other person's product. Like, somebody telling me, oh, why is this so expensive? Mr. A sells it for $20. And you'll be like, yes, and probably it's not right. So it's important for you to know about other competitive products too. With that, you will be able to convince this person you need this, you don't need that.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. You have to, as a marketer and as a corporation in general, as a business, you have to know the external environment, right? And understand your competition and what it is that, how does your product, good, or service stand up against the other product, good, and services, right? And so your product, good, or service may not be as superior to the other companies, but you have to figure out what is your target market, right? And so just because my car isn't as good, as, a Lamborghini, all right? But the people I'm looking to buy my car don't have Lamborghini money. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for four wheels and steel to get from point A to point B, all right? And so it doesn't really matter that my quality isn't as good as a Lamborghini, all right? I understand my market. I understand who I'm selling to, all right? And so because I understand who I'm selling to, my product, not that they say my product's inferior, but I don't need to spend as much money on my product, because the people that are buying my product, that's not what they're not looking for luxury. They're looking for functionality. They're looking for reliability. They're looking for inexpensive, right? But you have to know your competition in the external environment to understand that and to be able to do that, right? To make that comparison, between your product and what's going on outside, right?
Yeah, teacher, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Based on what you said now, like, target market is very important in marketing. And I believe your target markets will determine your market location. So what if you get the right location and you get the right target market, and all of a sudden, for some reason, for instance, a pandemic, the target market no longer is? How do you survive? How would a business keep thriving?
Man, that's a tough question. I mean, it does depends. Like, if you have a different outlet in which to reach the target market, right? So let's think about the ways businesses reach the market, right? Now, most businesses reach the market via social media or some kind of electronic format, right? Very rarely now do people actually get foot traffic, but not necessarily, right? People aren't necessarily walking in the stores. So if you are used to, having your target market and your target market goes away, you either can, one, move out of your area, right? That regional area you're in, move out of there and start looking at different areas, right? That's one, that's domestic. Second, you can start going actually international, abroad, into a different market, right? So this is kind of the dilemma where um, Apple's a good example. So move you like this, right? Apple's a good example, right? Apple is pretty much tapped out in the United States. There's no more growth in the United States for Apple, right? So Apple trying really, really hard to get into China, right? Which has a huge market, right? The biggest market in the world, right? But guess what? They're having a hard time getting into China because China has other cell phone providers there, right? And they don't want Apple to come in and take the market share, right? So Apple's trying to delve into another market, right? Because domestically, they are facing the problem you're talking about. They've tapped out in the target market, right? All they can do is just reintroduce the product in a different way, or upgrades and advancements or enhancements, right? And so that's one way you can move out the region. The other way is to change up um, the actual product itself, right? Change up the product itself to say, okay, well, this is what we're used to selling, but since you guys are kind of going away, or moving or leaving, maybe there's something wrong with the product. We're going to tweak it a little bit and offer something else, right? Offer something different. That's one way. Another way is to incentivize it or give promotions to try to bring back some of the customers, right, to your target market. So, hey, you know what? We know we haven't seen you in a long time, and I'm sure you get all these emails all the time. We haven't seen you in a long time. Here's a 20% coupon for next time you come in. That will make you go back in because you're, 20%. Okay, I'll go in. I'll go back in, right? And so now they have you back in. When they get you back in, you remember why you like the product. All right, you remember why you used to that you loved it, and why you go there. And so there's a couple of ways, but with the pandemic, because it's it's global, right? It kind of shut a lot of things down, right? Specifically restaurants and gyms, all the things that we take as conveniences in our life, right? Um, it really is a matter of the pandemic kind of subsiding, because there's really not much, aside from maybe, both of you guys are in San Diego, right?
I'm in the Orange County.
You're in Orange County, okay. Same thing in Orange County, but they've resorted to, of course, building stuff outside, right? So they had the restaurant. They pretty much bought the restaurant from the inside to outside. So now you're dining al fresco, right? Like you do in Europe, sort of, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's eating outside, enjoying the weather, whether it's cold or hot or whatever. You're outside, right? And so that's
for the Texans.
huh?
Gonna be tough for Texas companies.
Well, yeah, Texas is a different story. They're not eating anything right now. Okay, those guys are digging snow. Um, so they still are trying to get their market back, right, and trying to stay within the rules because of the situation that is happening. But it's really hard in that situation, where in the case of pandemic, where to really keep your target market, right, to keep them alive, because a lot of times, like, I have a certain gym. I like to box, so I go to the boxing gym, but the boxing gym closed because they, pandemic, right? So instead of charging me the fee every month, they stopped charging me, right? But they still kept my membership. They just said, look, we're not going to charge you because you're not coming in to get the service, right? So that's another way to where they can keep me, right? And show me like, hey, we value as a customer. We're not going to charge you any money. Whereas 24-hour fitness and LA Fitness, what they've done is they've taken the gym and they bought it outside because they can do that, right? They bought the gym outside. And so they're still within the rules, and they're still charging people the membership, right? But the experience that people are getting is not really what they paid for. Okay. And so a lot of people are upset with the fact that the gym's outside, and then there's only so much equipment you can bring outside. Okay. Because that means space, right? For 24-hour fitness. Where do they get this space? All right. So that means they have to go to whatever location they're at and say, hey, property manager, I need this whole parking lot so I can set up a gym. Okay. And so now it's like, okay, well, great. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to pay us extra because you're taking up our parking spots for all these other businesses, right? First thing. Secondly, now 24-hour fitness has to come up with a security plan. Okay. What happens at night when everybody's done, the gym is closed? Do I bring all the equipment back in? Or do I just leave it there and fence it up and hopefully I get security and nobody takes it? Okay. Because people will take whatever it is. If it's not locked down, they'll take it. Right. It don't matter how heavy it is. All right.
So that's like an additional cost to the company.
Yep. It's additional cost. So, if you're trying to like retain your target market based on, the pandemic, it's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be really tough, right? But if it's just normal business, circumstances, you can do a couple of things where you either go out to a different area and try to target that market because you probably saturated the market you're in. You probably tapped them out. So you need to venture out of that region or area and start marketing in different areas and marketing different um, different sections or segmentations of the community or different segmentations of society. All right. Because there's some products, they only target this type of folks because they know those type of folks are the ones that can either afford it or this is what they like. Other products, they'll target this type of folk, right? Because they know, hey, they can afford the certain things. Like, have you ever seen a commercial for Lamborghini or Bugatti or Ferrari on TV?
That's not their target audience.
Huh?
That's not their target audience.
You never seen a commercial for those cars, right? They don't need it. They don't need it because that's not their target audience. It's not their market, right? Their market is the guy that's going to come in and find them.
You're right.
Because I have the money. All right. I can do it. All right. I don't need to advertise that kind of thing because that item is a luxury item, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where marketing is like genius, right? I put a value on something, right? And make it so high that it seems like there's something special about it.
Yeah, and there's
It really
not.
isn't. It's a car. Yep. 4 wheels, it's got an engine. It's a fast engine, right? But at the end of the day, you get in the car, it's a car.
Right.
Seats, suspension, transmission. Okay, what else does it do? Does it cook? Does it give me drinks? What does it massage? What else does it do? Nothing.
It does massage, but it doesn't fly though.
It doesn't
same
fly.
price, you can buy a helicopter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't fly, it doesn't do anything, right? It's a car. But the fact is that I put a premium on it, so it seems like it's value added, right? And so now it's something that's up here now that's like, oh, you can only attain this because it's so valuable, because it's so expensive. You can only get it if you have money, if you have access, and that kind of thing, right? When actuality is like, before we had currency, right? How did people get things? Like before we had money, how did people get things?
Barter.
Barter, right? They bartered. So let's just say a day you're a doctor, right? And guess what? I was riding in my Lamborghini and I got in a car accident and I need a doctor. Hey, I need you to patch me up. I need surgery. I need help. Can you help me? Yeah, sure. I can help you. I don't have any money. Well, give me a Lamborghini and we'll call it even. Okay? Give me a Lamborghini and I operate on you. I'll fix you up, but you don't give me a Lamborghini. Okay? Or guess what? You build houses. I'll fix you, but you got to build my house. Okay? And so the marketing aspect of it all, it really is about adding that value to it, right? And making it so that the customer understands it and gets this sense of, look, I gotta have this, right? I want this, right? It's so much like something I desire, right? It's the same thought you have to put into as the market, as your target market starts to get smaller, you have to start thinking about how do I tap into different markets, all right? Or how do I, it's either you tap into different markets, you revamp the product, you lower the cost of the product, right? You can do that too, all right? But then that rolls into your profit margin, which is another story, right? That you don't want to deal with, right? Okay. Or you just say, you know what, discontinue that product altogether and try to, figure something else out to offer to the market. All right.
Uh, for COVID, actually, your first slide actually helps a lot because marketing is not just transactional.
No.
The huge part of marketing is building brand equity.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, your customer cannot come in and spend money with you, but you can still spend money building a brand equity.
Right.
And the good thing, well, there's virtually no good thing about the pandemic, but one thing, if we can call it good, is we know there will be an end.
Oh, well, we hope there's an end.
So, but one thing you will lose money during the pandemic. There's no what if about it if you are a physical business. So your challenge is, do you lose money while gaining something, while improving yourself, or do you just flat out losing money?
Yeah.
So, once you accept that you will lose money, then we can start talk.
Yeah.
Do you spend that money on building brand equity, renovate your store since nobody's coming in, or just have your employees come back and renovate the store?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's maybe not safe for them, but desperate time takes desperate measures.
Yeah.
And they would know their workplace better after the pandemic, and your store will be anew after the pandemic. You would get out the gate better than your competitors.
Yeah. Maybe.
And if you are not making money, your direct competitors are not making money either. So it's a game of who lose money more gracefully.
Yeah, I think at the same time, no matter how much we want to still maintain the target market or expand our target market, it's important to still check optimal efficiency. You don't want to spend more than you take in.
Right.
I think that's really key too.
But that's not a marketing problem though. That's an accounting problem.
I know, but sales will not even let the marketing go so far.
Then it's not marketing's idea, marketing's business anymore. It's the accountant's problem. Come up with the money, right?
No, I don't know. Real. I think Ade has a good point here, right? So you yes, it's an accounting problem, but again, the accountant is just strictly counting what's coming in and out. They don't control how it comes in or how much comes in and that kind of thing.
Financing problem then.
Yeah, maybe a financing problem, or maybe a pricing problem, right? Mm-hmm. Depending on the situation. But Ade's right in saying that you don't want to take in, less than what you put out, right? Because that's a failing business, right? You're gonna be in the red, and you're never gonna be
Elon
profitable.
Musk back the differ.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring that up. I knew you were gonna bring that up, right? But we're talking about corporations that are a little different than sole proprietorships and business, small businesses, right? It's a little different.
It's about who do you owe your duty to.
Right, exactly.
For the longest time, it has been the sole purpose for corporation is to make wealth for the investors.
For the investors, right?
But in recent years, we see a shift here, right?
Yeah, that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Right now is what you are built to do. You go out and do that.
Yeah.
Your mission statement is no longer just hot air.
Right.
The mission statement is something you actually go out and do. Elon Musk promised he want to get everybody to start driving electronic cars. That's exactly what he did, even though he lose money while doing that.
No, you're right.
He still thank him for that.
No, he definitely.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Mo. What I'm saying, what I want you to understand is the marketing department is not a separate entity from the business organization itself. Everything is linked together, and of course, everybody wants to make profit, right? No organization wants
biased, but I would say marketing is the most important part of a business.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't stand in isolation. You run together.
Right. Then well, you run together, but others run around you. That's my point about, well, again, I'm a marketer through and through. That's why I'm so biased. Marketing is the most important thing, even though when things got hard, you fire the marketer guys the first, but that's a very unwise move for companies to do.
I could say, Mo, that you're right, that in the sense that um people run around certain things, right? You have to run around operations, right? But at the end of
Of
the
course,
day,
you say that you're an operations guy.
yeah, well, but I mean that's really where at the end of the day, that's no matter if you're a marketing company, your operations is marketing,
Right.
right? And that is what the core of the business is. If that's what you do, right? If you are manufacturing and you manufacture cars, your operations revolve around cars, right? But it still takes everything else to be connected to make it all work, right? And you said it exactly yourself too, right? Because I said, hey, what if Coke didn't do any marketing? Would they lose market share? You said yes,
Yeah.
because you understand that it's just not about the Coke, it's about the marketing aspect of it, right?
Mhm.
It's also about the distribution, right? Because if we don't market the Coke, then nobody's buying it. What's the point of making it?
Right.
Right? So it's all intertwined, right? It's going to impact other things. And so it's all related, in a sense that, what Ada's talking about, like, hey, they all have to have synergy, right? This is a synergistic relationship, all right? We have to support each other. Now, do some areas have more weight than other areas? For sure, all right? Marketing has a little more weight, um, more than other areas, because it's just more value added and it has a direct line into revenue. All right. Whenever you have direct line into revenue or direct contribution to revenue, you're gonna have a higher weight. Okay. It's like saying HR. Unless you do HR as a business, HR is not gonna be a value added direct contributor to the bottom line. Indirectly it does, but not directly, not like marketing
Yeah.
or production, those kind of things. That's not.
Overhead.
Say that again.
It's the overhead.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so both of you guys are valid in your points, right? But again, the circumstances, the situation dictates what kind of approach you have to take to, your marketing stand and where you go with the company, right? Because you may have a company that you're marketing for, and the pandemic happens, and you say, you know what, based on the previous year's sales of what really sold and what's going on with the pandemic, we're going to cut down our marketing products to from 10 to 3. These are the 3 top sellers, and we're just going to focus on those 3. And we'll allocate the marketing dollars towards those 3 products, because those are the products that sell the most, right? And so that has an impact on the production, has an impact on the HR, has an impact on everything, right? If we shrink down our marketing to focus on certain products, right? Instead of the large product line that we had, right? Based on COVID, we're saying, okay, we only got three products. And you can see this if you've been to any restaurant in San Diego or in Orange County too, right? Certain restaurants I used to go to had these big menus, all this stuff, right? You go back to these restaurants now, their menus have shrunk, right? They have very specific things: chicken, fish, steak, okay, French fries, potato, okay, rice, salad, and we have our drinks. We don't have a bunch of choices anymore, okay? Because now we need to shrink, all right? We need to shrink our products, all right? Because we don't have as much revenue coming in, because we're not really marketing towards those other things, right? Now, if you come in and you ask for it and we happen to have it, great. But more than likely, we won't have it. We won't have it ready to go, right? And so you kind of have to look at it from that standpoint, that it really is, where marketing is the center, and everything else kind of, not marketing the center, but everything kind of plays together, right? They all contribute to each other, all complementary. Some are heavier than others, though. All right, there's more weight added or given to certain aspects of the business that you have because you need to have that. All right. Well, you still there? You just frozen. Oh, okay.
I mean,
Okay. You were very still. I was like, oh, he must have froze. All right. So let's look at some stuff. What is marketed, right? Well, we kind of talked about this already. Sorry. So goods, services, events, experiences, persons, right? Really anything can be marketed. But nowadays, the thing that we're really looking at is, experiences, right? There's a lot of experience marketing. Uh, People want to, have these things. It is no longer 100% about the product. Yes, I like the product to be good, but you can get a loyal following if you have a good experience, right? Again, going back to restaurants, the food's okay, but I love the ambiance, right? I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels when I go in there. It feels like a nice night lounge or a romantic dinner, or I like the way the lights look, or whatever it is, right? The food's okay. The food's not bad, right? But it's really the ambiance, right? It's the environment or the experience that I'm getting. Same thing with cruises, like I talked about. There's a reason why there's coach, business, and first class. Different experience in each area, right? But you're going to pay more for each elevation, right? Or each level of experience that you're trying to get. All right. And so it's not just about, marketing about, the product anymore. It's, the experience that we're talking about. And as we were discussing earlier, as the experience expectations get higher and higher, people, sometimes you have to look at products and experiences as drugs. Okay. That first high, that first time you use that drug or that first time you use that, you get that feeling about something. All right, you're always constantly chasing that feeling again. I want to feel that way again.
and you will never get to that point.
You'll never get to it, right?
So,
Because that first time was the first time. There's a reason why it's the first time. And so it feels good, but you're never gonna get that feel good experience again. So you're constantly chasing that feel good experience, right? This is what they're selling, right? They're selling the chase. Okay, they're selling the chase. Right. Sometimes you can get close, like, hey, I'm going on vacation. I like going on cruises. I'm gonna go on the Norwegian or the Carnival cruise. I had a good time, and you're okay with that. Like, okay, because your point, you're at that point, you are really worried about the product, right? Am I gonna get to go just to hang out by the pool? All right. Am I gonna get to go just to go to the buffet anytime I want? Is there just free flowing alcohol, right? Do I get free drinks? That kind of thing, right? Oh, you're gonna throw a massage in there. Yes, I like a massage too. And I want to go to the gym. So again, marketing experience, but you're also marketing the product. All right.
I'm
Um,
not sure this ties
yeah.
into the experience part, but sometimes you can market prestige as well.
Prestige.
What's the company called? It's a New York company with a red logo.
Oh, New York with a red.
Supreme.
Who?
Uh,
Oh, Supreme. Supreme. Yeah.
Supreme, yeah. Right? They
Right.
literally sell other people's product. They already made the product. All they do is stick their label on it, and then they sell it. Right?
Yeah.
So for a premium.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's literally just selling the prestige.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
buy
but
it because it is.
they. But how did Supreme start?
Didn't this start as a street culture brand?
Yeah. So basically, he was a street brand, right? He designed some of his own stuff, right?
Did he have any original designs?
Yeah, he had original
I
stuff.
don't know. Okay.
Yeah, they have original stuff, but then as he became or the company became more noticeable, the brand became more noticeable, and also was associated with kind of high quality stuff. He understood like, okay, if I take, a high end item already and put my Supreme tag on it, my brand on it, it's gonna be even more, right? It's gonna be more value added to it. And that's exactly what he did, right? He got with these companies and said, hey, let's collaborate. And you see a lot of these collaborations now. Nike does a lot of collaborations, right? With, Travis Scott, Kanye West with Adidas, right? These are all collaborations from people that are creative in nature, and his product that is already well known, let's put it together and see if we can add more value to it, right? See if we can sell it to a person who wants both worlds, right? And so you have this brand recognition. This is kind of where licensing comes in, right? Licensing agreements and that kind of thing, right? This is how Donald Trump makes his money, right?
Right.
It's licensing.
Yep.
Donald Trump doesn't own
No.
most of it. Most of the hotels with his name on it, he doesn't own.
Yeah, he just buy the naming rights.
It's the naming rights, right? People pay for the Trump name, right? And that's how he makes his money, right? So you can see where brand, identification, brand equity, brand loyalty, all those things matter, right? And like you were saying about Supreme, it's important. And you can definitely put a price tag on prestige.
Right.
Right. You can definitely put a price tag on prestige, and this is why Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Yves Saint Laurent, all those, Chanel, Hermes, they cost money. Right? They cost money. It's not because, well, I mean, they started somewhere. They had good quality products and that kind of thing, right? But at the end of the day, you could be like, this is to me, this is a perfect example of somebody who thought about the consumer and just said, I can maximize this on many levels, right? Think about Michael Kors. Okay. And so for us, when I say Michael Kors, you think like, okay, bags and, shirt, clothes and that kind of thing, right? And you can go to the mall and you can buy Michael Kors, right? You see women walking around with Michael Kors bags all the time, right? But you also see Michael Kors. Michael Kors has a high-end line, right? Where they have high-end $2,000 suits, $3,000 dresses, $5,000 bags, right?
Yep.
They have that, right? So they've taken that product line and kept it over here for people that can afford it, right? And he keeps his best designs over there.
Yep.
But he brings it over here to the retail market, okay? Because this high-end stuff that we're talking about here is really for people that can afford it, right? The people that go to the fashion shows and those kind of folks, right? That want unique couture.
It's funny how that works for clothing or a fashion, but it doesn't work for cars. Mercedes C-Class, is that the cheap Mercedes, and
It's garbage.
the cheap Beamer? They neither of them work.
They're doing okay, but I agree with you that again, trying to tap in a different market.
Right. And it actually works the other way around too. What's the company called? The Toyota, right? Toyota comes up with what's the luxury version of Toyota?
Lexus?
Lexus, yes.
No, Lexus is doing well. No, Lexus
Yeah,
is
it's
fine.
doing well because it's not the same brand.
No, exactly. Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they differentiated the two, right? That's what they did. They were smart. They said, hey, because a lot of people didn't know for the longest time that Toyota make Lexus.
Yep.
All right. And a lot of people don't know that, what's the biggest car manufacturer in the world?
What car?
No, I'm asking, do you guys know who the biggest manufacturing company in the world is? Car manufacturer in the world?
That would be Volkswagen.
Toyota.
Who?
Toyota?
No.
Volkswagen, right?
Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Volkswagen.
Lamborghini is part of Volkswagen.
Exactly. So it's Porsche.
Yep.
Right? A lot of people don't know that, right? So people think Volkswagen. What I want a Volkswagen for? I don't like Volkswagen. The Volkswagen Bug, like what? No, they own Lamborghini. They make Porsche. There's some other luxury cars, Bugatti.
Yep.
Right? People don't know that, right? Because they realize, like, hey, you know what? We'll just name it something different, right? And it's a luxury brand, right? So people want to associate the Volkswagen Bug and the Jetta and that kind of thing. That's down here. That's for us regular folks, right? Us regular people that, we ain't got $1 million to spend on a car. All right.
It's a pretty ballsy move for Elon Musk to sell every car under one brand.
No, I mean, I think it's all right because you know why it's okay? Because it's the technology is very unique.
Yep.
Nobody else is really a player in the space just yet. So he can sell EVs and keep it all under one name, right? And the Tesla brand's been around for a long, long time. People don't realize Tesla's been around for at least 30, 40 years.
Yeah, the Roadster company.
Right, the Roadster was around, right? And so, you know, he's got brand recognition. The fact that he's the first mover in a new industry, right? And he's doing it well, and he's picking aesthetic for the car that is beautiful, that looks good. The interior is all, you know, technologically advanced. Nobody really was on that kind of spectrum, right? They weren't keeping up with him because they kind of were thinking the same way Blockbuster was thinking about, you know, DVDs and moving to streaming, right? Netflix came and said, hey, you know what? There's a different way to do it, right? First, we're gonna mail out the DVDs, right? Because remember when Netflix, you'd go to the machine, you get your Netflix CD or your DVD, you take it home, you bring it back, and then you're good to go. Netflix was like, no, that's not enough. We're watching to see what's going on.
That was Redbox, right?
Redbox, yeah, Redbox, right? People are streaming. Guess what? We're going to the streaming platform, all right? I think I've seen one Redbox, maybe two Redbox.
Yeah, so I think both companies Redbox started a little bit early, but it was way more successful than Netflix until Netflix decided to stream.
Yeah, Netflix came in the game late, and Redbox had already pretty much gotten on the market share. But guess what? Netflix went a different direction because they used the technology at hand to take advantage of, you know, the platform and what they saw as an emerging market.
And Blockbuster was just not even in the same dimension.
Nope. Blockbuster is a classic example of just sitting on your laurels, right? Yep. It's broke. It's not broke, so why fix it?
Exactly.
Okay.
They probably fired all their marketers or people with marketing.
I don't blame that on marketing. I blame that on leadership. The CEO, the CFO, the COO, operations didn't have a vision. You know, that's your job as the CEO and the C-suite, is to have a vision as to where we're going to be in 10 years.
Right. Well, that's why CMOs are important for companies.
Right.
A lot of companies don't have that position.
Yeah, where we going long term, right? What's on the horizon, right? A lot of companies now are understanding the importance of artificial intelligence, right? And what role it's going to play. Now, we've had AI since the 40s and 50s in a very immature infancy stage, but now it's growing to where now we have autonomous vehicles. You know, Tesla's building all these self-driving cars. They had the Budweiser had the autonomous self-driving truck that came through I-5, drove from here to Las Vegas, right? Did you guys know that?
Nope.
All right. And so all these things are coming. Automation. If you go to manufacturing plants, a lot of it's automated via AI, right? And so you have to really pay attention to these things. 5G, all these things that are enabling folks to kind of come out of one place and go to another, right? And now, how do we market? For the fact that most businesses are no longer brick and mortar. Everybody's going online. Everybody's going online. So the marketing changes with that too, because now we have to be in the social media space, because we don't have the foot traffic we used to have, because we don't have an actual physical location anymore. All right. Most companies are closing down most of their physical locations. They're going to the internet. They're going to websites. Right. And so how do we maintain the experience from a marketing standpoint for those folks when they come aboard? All right. Any questions? I'm gonna shut it down here. I don't normally don't brief more than an hour and a half or so. So any questions, anything you want to comment on, you need, make sure you read the chapters, get in there.
I have one quick comment on the digitization of consumerism.
Yeah.
COVID is the trigger, but COVID is not the bullet.
No.
So in a way, meaning digitization was already happening, even without COVID. It was happening slowly, but it was surely slowly.
Yeah, exactly.
With COVID, you all of a sudden turned everybody who doesn't even know what a webcam is to use Zoom every day.
It's accelerated it.
Yeah. So accelerator or the trigger.
Yeah, an accelerant, catalyst for change and changing people's mindset and seeing that okay, it's possible, be via a forced social experiment, right? This is
Right.
you can kind of consider this a social experiment that was just put on us. Like, okay, guess what? You're gonna have
Yep.
to do it now. Oh, well, I wasn't ready to do it. Well, guess what? You're gonna do it anyway because we're shutting everything down, and come to realize, like, oh, it actually works. People can work from home, right? We have a lot of data that says, oh, people actually work better from home.
Yep.
Are more productive, right? We didn't think that was the case. We thought we needed to see everybody every day. I need to see you because I see you. I think that you're working, which
But
is
you are
not.
just pretending to work.
You're just pretending to work, right? You're surfing the net. So that's a good point. Yeah, that definitely COVID wasn't. COVID just kind of accelerated the process, but there was also always a digitization of our economy, right? Of our society, right? We're definitely going to a digital platform across the board, so no escaping that at all. All right, make sure you get your learning engagement in, okay, and then take a look at the syllabus because it's a group project. There's a group LE next week, group learning engagement next week, I think. So take a look at that, and that should be it.
So
Oh, and the quiz.
should we start doing the quiz now?
Yeah, go ahead, take the quiz. Ade, you still there? I think Ade had to go take care of it. Yeah, start the quiz. You can use the book, chapters 1 and 2,
Cool.
and then get started. And then I'll be here. And then when you're done with the quiz, just let me know. Ade, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Oh, sorry, I had to do something.
that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and start the quiz.
Oh, we have to do the quiz now.
Yeah, you gotta do the quiz. Yeah, Can you not do it at this moment?
Yeah, I can. I can try.
Okay. Yeah, you can use your book, of course, um, in the chapters 1 and 2.
Okay.
It's only 5 questions, so
I'm trying to leave this page so I can do the quiz.
okay.
All right. All right. I'm sorry, teacher. Where do I get a link for the quiz? I can find it.
For the quiz,
Uh-huh.
it's on the module. It's on the week 1.
Week 1 here.
Yeah, go back to week 1. You should see week 1 quiz or quiz.
Okay. Yeah, I
You
got
see
it.
it?
Yeah. Okay. Quiz. No, I can't find it.
The
I'm
quiz is not there.
sorry. I is it under? I still week 1, but I don't see quiz. I don't see.
Moo, did you find the quiz?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
Just click on quiz on the
Yeah,
left.
Okay.
it's right under like you should see the Zoom lecture tab, the Zoom lecture link. You should right above that somewhere in there is the quiz. It might be under learning engagement.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.